Hi families of origins, Teacher Sierra here. I just wanted to make this video to give a couple quick tips to you parents and families during this crazy time in the world. It's totally okay to feel bored, anxious, overwhelmed. I've really just been trying to be mindful of the fact that what's going on is unavoidable at this point. So take this time for yourself. Read a book, learn a recipe, maybe clean out that closet that's been bothering you. Do some yoga, take a quick breather, just step back and remember that everything is going to be okay and we are all in this together. I just wanted to make this video because we love and miss you all so much, and I hope you're doing great. I have this book, the Book of Ferdinand. It's my favorite story. I think it's just so cute, so I'm gonna read it for the kids, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under the cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit under it all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid Ferdinand would be lonesome all by himself. "Why don't you run and play with the other bulls and skip and butt your head?" she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. "I like it better here where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers." His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew until he was very big and strong. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would run and butt their heads together and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight the bullfights in Madrid. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to just sit quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights of Madrid. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting, leaping and jumping, so the men would think that they were very, very strong and fierce, and they would pick them. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care, so he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him. And that's just what happened. That's just what the bee did to Ferdinand. Wow, did it hurt. Ferdinand jumped with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting, butting and pawing at the ground as if he were crazy. 5 men saw him, and they shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all, just the bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. So they took him away for the bullfight in a cart. What a day it was! Flags were flying, bands were playing, and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderillos with long sharp pins and ribbons on them to stick and make the bull mad. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword, and he was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, don't you? Ferdinand. They called him Ferdinand, fierce, and all the banderillos were afraid of him, the picadors were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. He looks pretty scared right there. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought that he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers and all the lovely ladies' hair, and just sat down quietly and smelled. He looked so peaceful. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled, and the banderillos were mad, the picadors were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off with his cape and sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he is sitting there still under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers, just quietly. He is very happy. Thanks, guys, for listening to my story. I hope you have a great day.